I'll be honest with you, it feels absolutely great to review action figures from my very favorite chapter after a very long hiatus. Welcome on into the channel, action figures fans. This is Sprues and Studs, and we are in the midst of a Blood Angels review block. We have seen some okay figures with the likes of the Sanguinary Guard, but the recent release of the Blood Angels Captain in red really impressed me. So in this video, we are going to be feasting our eyes on the Sanguinary Priest to determine if this action figure is going to be as equally as impressive as the Blood Angels Captain or surpass the Captain. And there's only one way to find out, so join me in the review. First of all, I would like to say that it is great to see shading on the white of this armor of this apothecary. JoyToy managed to put the proper amount as to not make the figure look too dirty or too flat. Anyways, I like how the helix is front and center, and how JoyToy finally decided to shade the vent areas on this MK10 helmet. The bareheaded version depicts a suave and sophisticated cultured Marine with his golden locks of hair that are styled back. Fortunately, there is no shading whatsoever that can be found on this hair. He has a fairly neutral expression on his face, which I like. If you look at the chest area, it is rather unadorned, aside from the shading that is happening on the armor edges. However, the thing that draws the center of attention is obviously this blood vial amulet. I like how the blood vials are depicted as half full, and the blood is kind of sloshed to one side to mimic gravity or the swing of motion. Then in the torso area, instead of manly pecs that are found on the Sanguinary Guard as well as the Red Blood Angels Captain, there is a highly detailed cloth. The left pauldron of this apothecary has a nice, bold, and golden Blood Angels chapter symbol. What's really interesting about this area is this kind of weird glow that JoyToy gave it by shading the outside of the icon black, which, in all honesty, I believe contrasts well against the red. With the right pauldron, you get to see a raised apothecary helix symbol that appears to be kind of hanging down from a winged blood tear. However, I believe that the action is centered around this Narcithium, which has a lot of stuff that is going on with it. It kind of looks like you have this twin needle element that perhaps delivers this blue fluid over there inside a hapless Marine. Then you have this claw or extractor element at the front with this interesting metallic purple fluid chamber. There is a decent amount of action going on with the waist area, starting off with this skull belt buckle. Then beneath that is a bunch of, I guess, what looks like to be some golden canisters. And just like the Blood Angels Captain, the chalice, pouches, and holsters here are all attached by a ball and socket joint, which is great for switching or reattaching fallen pieces. A special note with regards to this blood chalice, unfortunately it appears that my chalice stem is warped due to probably packing. Another one of these nitpicky things that I have to point out is I really wish the top of the chalice was colored red to mimic, well, blood in the chalice. Finally, you have your standard but nicely colored red tabard that is hanging down. Now, if you are enjoying this action figure review and probably some previous action figure reviews, I would highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Wouldn't it be nice to have your YouTube feed be inundated with the most up-to-minute and most current action figure Warhammer 40K and Horse Heresy action figure reviews? Then if the answer is yes, then you already know what to do. Alright, legs-wise, for some odd reason, I am not sure why GW or JoyToy decided not to give this priest nor this Blood Angels Captain any sort of decorations on this leg. Usually you kind of want to have a sense of balance with the decorations. The right leg, on the other hand, is the complete opposite, with this fantastic looking blood chalice on the shin. Then on the right thigh, I like how the figure has a syringe element and a pump to administer these metallic blue and purple fluids into an ailing Marine. The final thing on the body we are going to look at is this cape, or some sort of half skirt or kilt. Either way, the front of it looks soft and velvety with a nice airbrush shading. Then when you look at it from the other side, the color changes to a dark blood maroon, which contrasts against the white of the armor quite nicely. Now, it looks like this medical backpack has been modified over the standard one due to the addition of a few things. There is a spotlight to help the apothecary see, and some sort of scanning or sensor array. I do like the articulation in that you can spin both of these elements 360 degrees about this axis right here, and you can move both elements back and forth like I am showing you here right now. I don't know about you, but I really enjoy the look of this Absolver bolt pistol over this regular diminutive little bolt pistol. There's something really sleek and elegant about the more elongated body of this firearm. I find that the helix on the pistol to be nicely integrated with the blood tier, and it looks appropriate. Now, this chainsword is downsized from the massive collector's version to this more humble regular version. Here is a comparison with the regular edition of Titus's chainsword. I'm also a big fan of this hilt here that has a nice gold color that completely protects the hand. And the last thing that we're going to take a look at is this servo skull. I think that this is a welcome addition to the action figure to give it more apothecary type of flavor. It appears that the skull has taken over the mining duties for the priest with this gunmetal drill here. I also like how the skull is highly detailed with this metallic lens and plenty of shading that's going on with it. What makes this an even more tasty piece is this broken Space Marine helmet that the servo skull is floating above. Alright, it is time to do the obligatory size comparison. As these action figures were released at the same time with one another, one would expect that they would all be of the same height, and yes, that is correct. However, now we get a little bit of size variation when we mix in action figures that were not released around the same time. So we have a version 3 Blood Angels Intercessor, which is a little bit shorter than the Sanguinary Priest. And then we have the Titus action figure of the Space Marine 2 line, which is clearly way taller than this modified version 4 figure. And we have one of the more recent releases for the Warhammer 40K line, which is this Khorne Berserker, and you'll notice that this guy is actually way taller than the Sanguinary Priest, and you will notice that this Berserker is actually the same height as Titus. Well, I think we have yet another solid action figure from JoyToy on our hands. I really dig the Blood Vial necklace, as well as the gigantic Blood Chalice icon that is on the right leg. However, my favorite part of this action figure is what makes him an apothecary, which is the Narcithium, as well as the large injection pack. JoyToy and GW did a fantastic job of fleshing out this area, much better than the Apothecary Biologist. I would say that this action figure is indeed worth your money to pick up and will fill out the ranks of your Blood Angels action figure army very, very nicely. And once again, if you are interested in purchasing this action figure, just click on the link in the description below, or you will be brought to a very strong channel supporter by the name of David Toys. I really enjoy the clean aesthetic of their website, and it's very, very easy to find all of these action figures, especially the new ones. They have sections where you can pre-order. They have sections in which these action figures will be deemed as new arrivals, and what is especially important to me is those action figures that are coming soon. So again, you can allocate your money accordingly, and when you hit that pay button, go back and do yourself a favor and use my affiliate code SNS to receive 12% off of your purchase. By using this code, it equally benefits you and then benefits me, but also benefits you in the end, because with all these purchases, I make commission on them, and I buy these action figures based off the commission, and sometimes I buy action figures that I do not like because you deserve to see them. So Blood Angels fans, I would have to say that for right now, JoyToy has done a fantastic job of fleshing out these Blood Angels. So let me know in the comment section what you thought about the Sanguinary Priest. Does he capture the aesthetics of what it is to be a Blood Angel, or do you think this action figure does not do any justice compared to the OG Sanguinary Priests? I would like to know, so leave a comment in the comments section. I know it may sound a little bit repetitious that at every single end of the video I thank you all, but I really do thank you all for watching my videos. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.